Okay, in this video we are going to style the banner area of this guy. In the mock-up it's this orange banner area. Okay, we want to add some styles for this banner ID. We're going to use a background image. We'll center it horizontally and we'll add a height to it. To get the correct height distance, use the ruler tool. Hold down this guy. Go to ruler. You'll probably want to change the units to pixels. Go to edit, preferences, go to units and rulers, and go to units and rulers. Drop both these down to pixels and hit OK. Okay, so when I measure this guy, I click and drag the ruler and you hold down shift to keep it a straight line, and what we're looking at is this height. It says 419. Last time I measured it I got 420 for some reason. So we can add that style at the bottom of our style sheet. Banner JPEG. To place a background image centered horizontally, you can use center for the X value, and for the Y value we'll leave it at 0. And put your height value in there. Let us style the banner inner ID. We're going to style it pretty much like we did all the other inners. We can add a margin 0 auto, width, we'll use the same height as here, and we'll throw position relative on there so we can position stuff absolute inside. Remember that position absolute doesn't work unless the parent element has position relative or absolute. Let's start styling. First I'll show you what we have here. Okay, so the height blocked off this whole area and it threw the orange background on there. We can start messing with these guys. We can throw, okay, so we'll use a banner inner P to style all of these at once, and then we'll use more specific styles to override what we need. We'll position these all absolute. We also want to figure out what color and what font to make these guys. In Photoshop, hit T for the text tool, click inside the text, and what we're looking for is this guy. Click that and just copy that value. Then paste that in your style sheet. The other thing we're looking for is this guy. The font is Times New Roman on these two. Okay, add that to your style sheet like this. Now let's do those more specific styles. Let's start out with some starter styles. I guess first I'll show you what we have here right now. Refresh that. They're all white. They're all on top of each other because we did position absolute. Let's throw some starter styles. Let's do left 1 pixel, top 1 pixel, and then we'll throw maybe font size 13 for a starter on the 2 white lines of text. Refresh that, and you can see that the text is now font size 13. Okay, I'm going to make these windows, well, first I'll do it once at the size I'm talking. Okay, so in front-end web development, you're going to want to use some kind of either a pixel perfect plugin, or I like to use a second program that'll make my browser semi-transparent, like this. I can put it on top of Photoshop and just like line up. I'll show you exactly what I would do. I'd make Photoshop 100% zoom, Control plus, Command plus if you're on a Mac to get to zoom in. Then I'd line up some element that I know is correctly placed, like the logo, and then I use Chrome Dev Tools, Control Shift I, Command Shift I, to bring up the dev tools. And like now what I'm doing is I'm gonna like inspect the first sentence, which would be this guy on the comp, right? Do we have it? That's the second one. This is the first one. And then I'm going to click that guy and start hitting the up arrow, actually shift up arrow to increase by 10 pixel increments. Same thing with this top value. Same thing with the font size. So I'm trying to line it up exactly with my Photoshop mockup below. Okay, so last time I did this, I got 419 on my left, I got 60 top, and my font size was 30. So I don't know exactly if I eyeballed it or what. Oh yeah, that wasn't perfect, but that's just what I used in the beginning. So then you would just copy these values, paste them into your style sheet like this. Like this, excuse me? No, like that. Okay, and if we refresh, you can see that'll look just like that. Now what I'm going to do for the rest of the video, since you kind of know what I'm doing in DevTools now, is I'm going to make these windows bigger, because there's no way to properly line anything up in Photoshop when you have that tiny little window. Okay, so we could do something like this now. Okay. So, what programs am I using to make the windows semi-transparent? For Windows, you can use something called Peek Through, and then in Mac, you can use Afloat. That's on GitHub here now. And they do the trick. There are also, if you Google like pixel perfect plugins or stuff like that, or if you're on Firefox extensions or add-ons or whatever, you'll find all kinds of good stuff. Okay, so we need to add some margin on the banner top here. So I'm going to grab the banner and figure out how much I need to add. So I throw like a margin 1000 just for starters, and that looks great. So then I would just copy that, throw it on my style sheet. And I believe last time I did this, I actually decided that 12 pixels was the perfect margin on that. Okay. We are getting there. Let's mess more with these lines of text. I'm going to grab the banner line 1 again and try to get some. Actually, I'm going to bring my mock-up to the top and then put my browser on the top. I'm going to try to line this guy up a little better this time. Yeah, so 439 and 30 look about right, and then I'm going to copy those into my style sheet. Okay, got them there. Let's check the second line now. So the second line I can't even see. Yeah, I see it now. Okay, last time I did this, I came up with left -3, top 156, and font size 43, is that right? Yeah, something like that's pretty close. I would copy those and throw them in my style sheet here. Okay. Now let's talk about line 3. For starters, so line 3 is the big guy, the big blue text. For starters, let's just get the positioning right, and then we'll talk about how to make it the right font size and all that. So I think we need to throw our Yeah, throw some starter styles on there, do what I just did to figure out an approximate place for it. Last time I did this, I liked that for starters, then yeah. Yeah, so here's a good approximate position for that for now. We got to get the font right, and we'll do that now. So what you should do to get this font, so this is Yellowtail font. That's a Google font. You can use Google fonts for free. They are very nice. So Google font Yellowtail. Just hit the first link, first result. I can take off the transparency if you need. In this guy, just click Open Yellowtail in Google Fonts. Okay, here scroll down a little bit. On this area, click Import, and then just copy this whole import line. And we can just throw that in our style sheet at the very top. Okay, so now we got this Yellowtail line here, is at import. Now, what that does is it pulls in the Google font externally from their URL, and we want to do that rather than self-hosted because we can use their CDN, their Content Delivery Network. That'll speed it up for users that already have that cached. No, that's not true. That's probably true, but probably not that many people have Yellowtail cached. We use the Google URL because their content delivery network will be closer to the user than our server would be. Google will have content delivery networks, CDN networks all over the globe, and they'll be chances are high that they'll be much closer to the user than us, so it'll load faster for the user than if they actually pull down a Yellowtail font that we host. Okay, you can look up content delivery network if that was confusing. The short of it is it's faster. Okay, so now that we have Yellowtail, family equals Yellowtail, we can use this font family the way we use regular font families like Arial or whatever. So let's do that. Let's change bannerline 3 to Yellowtail with a Times New Roman and Georgia fallback. If we refresh this now, you could see we have a nice funky font now. And let's get our positioning a little bit better. Let me turn my transparency back on, line up my logo again, pull my mock up to the top. Until you get your custom font on, there's not much point in messing with the font size and exact positioning, because font sizes are really crazy on like custom fonts like this. They're never exactly what you would expect. Okay, so you can just see I'm just trying to line this guy up. So let's see, last time I did this, I'm just trying to keep my numbers consistent with what I had in the blog post. Last time I did this, I had left 337. Maybe I was drunk. Top 83, that doesn't make any sense, does it? Let's see something here. Ah, this is better. Okay, so it looks like once I threw the font on there, I came up with 256, top 109, minus 109, I mean. Yeah. And then font size 198. Yeah, that's pretty close. It doesn't have to be exact. So copy those styles, throw them in your browser. Ah, it's beautiful. Oh, also, how did I get that color? Well, in Photoshop, hit T for text tool, and it's going to ask you if you want to substitute For now, that'll be fine. We don't have the font in our system, that's why it's defaulting to this Myriad Pro in this case. I'm going to drag this down. So this is the color. I'm going to click that, and then here's my hex value. I'm just going to copy that and paste it into my style sheet here. Okay, is that correct? 69D, yes, indeed. Okay, so now we are getting somewhere. You can always revert your comps if you mess it up the way we just did. You could do File, first hit Escape to get rid of the text tool. Oh, that'll fix it right there. Okay, great. So now if we refresh, I don't think I saved it. I didn't. Okay, if we refresh, our font is tiny. Why? Let me make sure I got my last values in there. And I did not. Yes, these are the correct values. 256 minus 109, 198. And if we refresh, it's quite a bit better. Once we line up our logos, hey, not bad at all, not bad at all. Okay, so that's how you mock up the banner, and you can pull in a Google font.